So hello everyone, this is your English teacher Manoj, and in this video we will be reading and understanding the chapter The Boy Who Broke the Bank from your book Gulmohar. So this story is very interesting and humorous, which is written by Ruskin Bond. So this story is about the murmuring of Nathu, who was a sweeper. He was worried about his regular payments. His bank where he was working as a sweeper hasn't paid him for 2 months. But all these rumors takes the shape and result into the collapse of a very financially strong bank. How did all this happen? So let's have the summary in depth. So class, this story is about Seth Govindram's bank in at the town. The bank was financially very strong and it had won the trust of many of the residents of the town. उस टाउन से उस बैंक में काफ़ी ज़्यादा डिपॉजिटर्स भी थे. अब नथु जो उस बैंक में एज अ स्वीपर काम करता था, सो वन डे वाइल ही वॉज स्वीपिंग द स्टेप्स ऑफ द बैंक ही वॉज ग्रम्बलिंग, ही वॉज एंग्री. वो बड़ा गुस्से में लग रहा था बिकॉज द बैंक हैजंट पेड हिम फॉर 2 months. सो नाउ what happens, okay, तभी सीताराम who was the washerman's son and a friend of Nathu, so he talked to Nathu and he got to know about Nathu's problem. Now Nathu se कहता है that as soon as he will get his payments, he will leave this job and get some other job. Now as Sitaram was a good friend of him, so he wanted to help him to look for a job, another job to Nathu. So there was a lady, Mrs. Srivastava. So she was also looking for a sweeper. So when Sitaram talked to the lady about Nathu, and he told her that the bank could not pay its employees, the bank was running out of money. So Mrs. Srivastava, and who was a talkative lady, वो बहुत बात करती थी, तो somehow she misunderstands सीताराम्स स्टेटमेंट. वो सीताराम की बात को एक गलत वे में लेके चली जाती है एंड शी स्टार्टेड बिलीविंग, और उसे ये यकीन हो जाता है दैट द बैंक वॉज ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ बैंक्रप्सी. बैंक जो है वो कंगाली के कगार पर है एंड इट is unable to pay its employees. So now what happens? Then Mrs. Srivastava, she meets Mrs. Bhushan in the market and she informs her friend about the weak position of the bank. अब यहाँ पे जो Mrs. Bhushan थी, she goes to the market and tells her husband immediately about the exaggerated news of the bank. अब वो मार्केट में जाती है और अपने हस्बैंड से बताती है अबाउट दैट द बैंक इज एट द ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ बैंक्रप्सी. अब दिस न्यूज़ shocked Kamal Kishore, who was a photographer, Deep Chand, the barber, and bank's customer, and many others who were in the market. So this news shocked everyone that the bank was on the verge of bankruptcy. It was unable to pay its employees. अब देखिए जो दीपचंद था, द बार्बर, हु वॉज द बार्बर, ओके, सो ही वॉज सो स्टार्टल्ड, ही वॉज सो सरप्राइज्ड, ओके, दैट ही इंजर्ड हिज कस्टमर वाइल ही वॉज शेविंग हिम. तो बस वो शेविंग बना रहा था, तो वो इस न्यूज़ को सुन के इतना चौंक जाता है कि वो अपने कस्टमर को इंजर कर देता है. अब उसका जो कस्टमर था, ही ट्राइज टू कॉन्टेक्ट गोविंद राम ऑन फोन. वो गोविंद राम से फ़ोन पे बात करना चाहता है, द ऑनर ऑफ दैट बैंक. But as Govind Ram is enjoying his vacation at Kashmir, but on phone he was informed, उसको पता चला कि जो गोविंद राम है he is enjoying his holidays at Kashmir, so he cannot be available for the moment. तो इससे है ना इस रूमर को और ज़्यादा मजबूती मिल जाती है. पीपल स्टार्ट टू वॉन्डर दैट सेठ गोविंद राम हैज़ फ्लैड द कंट्री. वो इस कंट्री या टाउन को छोड़कर चला गया है. और ये पूरी रूमर इट स्प्रेड्स लाइक अ वाइल्ड फायर इन द एंटायर टाउन. ये पूरी उस टाउन में एक आग की तरह फैल जाती है खबर. अब नेचुरली क्लास, All the account holders and depositors flock near the bank premises and demand their money back. So as soon as everybody gets to know कि बैंक is on the verge of bankruptcy, तो जितने भी account holders थे जिन्होंने बैंक में पैसा डिपॉजिट किया हुआ था, they flock near the bank, वो बैंक के पास इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं and they started to demand their money back and they wanted their money back. Everyone tries to analyze the condition in his own way. Because what happened class बच्चों, हर किसी ने इस सिचुएशन को कंडीशन को अपने ही तरह से एनालाइज करना शुरू कर दिया था. Those who had no money in the bank considered themselves to be wise. अब वो लोग who had not deposited any money in the bank considered themselves lucky. उन्हें माना कि वो तो लकी हैं, वो तो बहुत होशियार हैं कि उन्होंने इस बैंक में पैसा डिपॉजिट नहीं किया. और कुछ ने कहा दैट गोविंद राम हैड लेफ्ट अनदर कंट्री. और कुछ ने माना कि गोविंद राम किसी दूसरे शहर में किसी दूसरे देश में चले गए हैं. By noon, all the cash was exhausted in the bank, and when people started to withdraw their money, तो by the noon बैंक के पास में कैश खत्म हो गया था. अब the harassed manager tried to request the people to wait for a day so that he might manage for the emergency funds from the another bank. अब वो जो मैनेजर था, बैंक का मैनेजर था, so he was harassed. He requested the people wait for a day क्योंकि the bank was out of funds. So उसने कहा कि that we have funds, okay, but for that we will need to use the emergency funds from the another bank. And by that time the bank must have been closed, so you can come tomorrow and you can get your money back. लेकिन कोई भी इस प्रपोजल को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता. People want their amount there and then. They wanted their money right then. So he just tried the bank manager tried to assure people that the bank has plenty of money and but we will take some time to collect all that money. लेकिन कोई भी इसकी बात पे यकीन नहीं करता. और वहाँ पर उस क्राउड में कुछ मॉन्गर्स भी होते हैं, ठीक है. देयर वर सम अदर पीपल इवन हु they did not have any money onto the bank. So these people, they excite the crowd, they excite the people, and the people started throwing stones at the bank building. And as a result, the glasses were broken. So finally, a sound bank is broken unfortunately. तो इस तरह से एक बहुत ही मजबूत बैंक who had enough money वो कंगाल हो जाता है. अब how did all this happen? The news which was passed by Sitaram to Mrs. Srivastava, because at every stage the news kept changing. It became a rumor. So now the next day when Nathu went to the bank for his duty and he found a lot of broken glasses and stones on the steps of the bank, so he gets angry, वो गुस्सा हो जाता है, and he murmurs, और वो बड़बड़ाते हुए कहता है that the bank authorities were not paying him regularly. The first thing is that बैंक उसको रेगुलरली पे नहीं कर रहा है, and on the other hand they are increasing his work, और दूसरी तरफ वो उसे काम को बढ़ा रहे हैं. Now I would have to sweep away the stones and glasses. तो तभी वहाँ पे सीताराम आता है और वो नथु से कहता है that he must accept the new job. अब उसे दूसरी जॉब ढूंढ लेनी चाहिए, ठीक है, क्योंकि जो बैंक है इट इज़ ऑलरेडी क्लोज्ड. अब नथु बहुत सरप्राइज्ड हो जाता है इस न्यूज़ को सुनकर. वो ही वंडर्स, ही सेज दैट हाउ कुड इट बी पॉसिबल, हाउ कुड इट हैपन, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता था. So at the end of the story you would find Nathu murmuring on the bank steps, okay, that nobody would have ever thought that the bank would collapse. वो ये इमेजिन कर रहा है, वो ये वंडर कर रहा है कि कभी किसी ने सोचा नहीं हो कि दैट बैंक विल बी कोलैप्स्ड वन डे. एंड फॉर हिम, फॉर Nathu, this whole event, this whole tragedy was a mystery. Okay class, so this story has climax of humor. The main culprit, Natu, who was responsible for the collapse of bank, he wonders innocently. He was not aware that how all these things happened. Okay, class, so that was the summary of chapter 1, The Boy Who Broke the Bank.